Annabelle Creation. Directed by David Sandberg, this is the fourth movie in the Conjuring movie franchise. So yeah, without giving too much away, this movie sees a former toy maker and his wife welcome in a nun and 6 orphaned girls into their farmhouse. They lost their daughter Annabelle a few years earlier. Things start to go slightly wrong when one of the children go into a forbidden room, and they find this doll, which seems to have a life of its own. So, first of all, if you haven't seen any of the trailers for this movie, I would say not to watch any, because, just go in completely fresh, because the trailer does give away some parts that I think would have had much more of an impact had I not seen them and sort of known what was going to come. Also, you don't have to have seen the first Annabelle movie, because this one precedes it, so you could actually watch them in whichever order you wanted to watch them. However, if you have seen the first Annabelle movie, you will find that this movie crosses quite well into it, and it was something that I was sort of unexpecting. So director David Sandberg has done something special with this movie, I feel anyway, because from the moment the movie starts, there is this sort of tension that builds throughout the whole movie, and it's amazing. I would say the first 20 minutes of Annabelle Creation is this sort of build-up to the horror, and then once that starts, the movie just keeps turning that tension up. It's not like there aren't any sort of cliche horror tropes thrown into this movie, but it's the way that this movie handles them. I think you'll sort of watch certain scenes and expect, the tension's building up, and you expect something to happen. You expect to see like a jump scare. Then the movie just does something completely different, and it keeps that tension going, and that's what I think makes this movie so good and such a scary movie. It just keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it just keeps you sort of fearing for what's going to happen to the characters, because it's just so random and so unexpected. So my only problem with this movie is, and if you've seen the first Annabelle, you'll probably understand what I mean, but there's obviously this entity, this demon, which possesses the doll. I feel that it's probably overused a bit in this movie. I feel that it shouldn't even have been in the movie, in both movies actually. I feel if they had something else, then both movies would have worked a little bit better in certain scenes. I think because it's something that's CGI'd into the movie, it just it takes away from all the other scares that happen, because there are moments where, this horror is taking place and it's really good, and that's how the movie does it well. But then you have these other scenes where you have this demon, and it's just like, okay, I can see that that's CGI'd, so it takes you out of the experience, it takes you out of the horror, and I would say it's probably the only times that I felt that it wasn't as scary as it could have been if they had maybe used some other means, maybe having the doll or whatever it is. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away, but I just feel that was probably the only thing that I didn't like about the movie. Saying all that, Annabelle Creation is probably one of the best horror movies I've seen in a very long time, which is rare these days, because a lot of horror movies now, a lot of sequels now, just aren't very good. They're overly cliched and just a bit too cheesy, really. But this one does it well. It's a very good prequel, sequel, whatever you want to call it. It's scary. It's got a good story. The characters are likable. And it's just a really well-made movie, and it's a solid entry to the Conjuring universe. It's actually better than the first movie, I think, the first Annabelle movie. And yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, then definitely go and check it out. If you have seen it, then let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll hopefully see you next time.